boy DJ Wolfie on the mic. Boy, I got some things to talk about. I got a couple things on my mind here. Where do I begin? Okay, I was watching the video this morning. I was surprised it was still on. It was on for a while. Matter of fact, it was on so long. I got this morning. I was getting ready for work. It was still on. This is my man Tommy Sotomayor, and gotta give a big shout out to brother, man. Nice guy. I don't care what anybody say. One thing I gotta say about Tommy Sotomayor that very few people know about. Really, once you really meet him and you really talk about him, get to talk to him like I did personally with him last year. He really is one of the nicest people I've ever met on YouTube. He's really, I don't care about all the other mess that you people say about him. Like I said, I got to meet him. I got to know him a little personally. We talked. At the seminar that he did, the get together he did last year when he was doing his Truth for Logic tour, and he really, truly is one of the nicest people I met. As far as celebrity, whatever, but. Nevertheless, he actually had a conversation. He did an impromptu YouTube live show last night, and it lasted well into the hour. Matter of fact, it lasted right into this morning. Matter of fact, because I got up watching it, I didn't know he was even on. I think he started it was 5 o'clock our time, something like that. So it probably was maybe about 2 or 3 o'clock his time. I don't recall. Anyway, but. Yeah, he was on, and I happened to catch it. He was talking to this young guy. It was something to do about, the young guy had a problem with Tommy talking about black women and all that. And Tommy, stays arguing about why he feel the way he do. And, I guess they were, it was, they weren't really beefing too much about it. But it was a good conversation. And I was happened to be in the live chat. And I was talking to one guy. I forgot the guy's name. I'm not going to mention his name. But anyway, he talking about buying people drinks, and I think the guy mentioned it too. The guy on that Tommy was talking to mentioned it too, but I don't recall. But all I know was one guy was on the live chat was saying that he thought it was gay for guys to buy other guys drinks. That's the direct quote. That's what he said. So me and maybe about a half a dozen or so other YouTubers jumped this guy's bones. We jumped his ass and said, look. It's not gay for any man to buy another man a drink. They do it all the time. Okay? Guys do it all the time. So the guy said, he repeated what he said again. So I tended to pursue him, and I said, dude, there's nothing gay about that. I said, guys buy guys drinks all the time. I said, matter of fact, and I gave him an example. How about when you got guy go do a beer run and you buy a 6-pack or 12-pack of 30 cases for people? You're basically buying guys a drink, okay? Whether it be at a bar or not, you're buying them a drink. People buy rounds for people all the time, or drinks all the time. Guys do it all the time. I said, there's nothing gay about that. Even if the person was gay, it still would be nothing gay about that. As far as I'm concerned. But then the guy, he wanted to go into me tomorrow. Well, if you want to buy a guy a drink, that's your business. And I'm like, dude, that has nothing to do about whether the person is gay or not. It has nothing to do about the sexual orientation. I thought that was so ignorant for this guy to even say that. But I told him he got mad because I told him at one point, I said, well, I guess you must not be very social, huh? I said, you must not get out much, which is exactly what I told him. Because obviously, if you got out much, you know people do this all the time. It was a very ignorant statement that he said. And I was very offended by it. And I'm not gay, and I was offended by it. But just the fact that he said, if you buy another guy a drink, you have to be gay. And that's so not true. That's actually not a fact. That's actually a misnomer completely. And he apparently he must be some kind of homophobe to even say that stupid shit. So then I had to go out and finally point to him what he actually said. Because he said, well, why don't you go back and read what I said? And I did. And of course, not only did he own up to it, but then he wanted to add something else that he claimed he said, and it wasn't true. So I basically shut down his. Why did come? Oh, dash. So basically, I shut down his argument because obviously he knew by then I made him look like a total fool because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So any YouTuber out there who really gonna talk that kind of smack about stuff and think they can back up what they said, well, basically back up what you're saying and don't say what you mean what you say. Don't backpedal because the dude was straight backpedaling all day, and it got really annoying to me. So, but the reason why I say that, and I kind of side with Tommy on a lot of issues when you talk about our communities, particularly about black women, because I just our community. Let's put it like this: we have people in our community that's so messed up, man, to a point where they don't even think straight half the time. And I got family members like that just don't think straight. You just blur out the first thing come on your mind. You don't put any thought into anything you say or do or don't do. And it's just like ridiculous. I'm like, really? Did you ever give it any thought about what you're saying before you open your mouth? No, they really don't. It's just, woo. Oh boy. Had a conversation with my brother. I don't even know if I should talk about it. Probably about, not barely 2 weeks ago. And it was a weird conversation. And I was like, I don't even want, in fact, I won't even go into it. All I know is that he doesn't use any common sense half the time anymore. I don't know what's going on. I know he's not in the best of health, man, but I love him and I want to wish the best for him. But you still got to use common sense, man. You do got to still take care of your health. Whatever health you got that's good, take care of it, and maybe you can get back to where you need to be. People don't do that anymore, man. They just simply don't do that anymore. So that's all I'm gonna say about that for right now. I may do another show on that later, but it's just that we don't use any common sense as families, man. I mean, as us as African Americans, sometimes we just fly off the handle, and that's what leads to a lot of unnecessary violence. You fly off the handle for stuff, and you don't even use any common sense. You just fly off the handle. Don't think about what you're going to do. You just up and just do it. That's what stresses our communities out, because people just do what the fuck they want to do. They just say what the fuck they want to say, and they put their hands on people they ain't got no business putting their hands on for no goddamn reason. And it just pisses me off. It's just a cycle of bullshit, I call it. A cycle of bullshit. And at some point, someone told me something that really stuck with me. You got to break the cycle. That's like that gospel artist. I can't think of her name right now. What's that girl name? Yates. Damn, I can't think of her name. I don't want to get it wrong. But her song, and I saw her in concert last year. Tasha Cobbs. That's her name. Tasha Cobbs. Break Every Chain. That is a very, very powerful gospel song, man. Powerful gospel song. Probably one of the best gospel songs I've ever heard. Break every chain. I couldn't say it better myself. You must break every chain. Okay? Whether it be abuse or whatever, you got to break that chain. In other words, at some point in your life, you have to, how can I put it? You have to have an understanding of trying to, break the chain so it doesn't affect other family members. That's what I mean by break every. That's what my interpretation of break every chain is. Break the cycle is part of break every chain to me. Whatever was that you had to deal with in your lifetime, growing up, and how you were raised in your environment. When you get to a point where you can get your head out your ass, and I do mean it, when you can get your head out your ass, and you you evolve for the better. And at some point when you evolve for the better, you do better. And when you evolve for the better, that means you want better for your future family and children. And you break that chain. So you know what? I'm not going to put that out for my kids to deal with. I'm not going to be the kind of father that my dad or my mother was to me. You know? In other words, the cycle that you had to deal with, you drop that cycle. That cycle ends with you. Seriously. Because that's the part of our problem. We like to ride and ride and ride into the shit till right through the next generation. And then you know what happens? The next generation carries over the bullshit that you had from your cycle. Because you decide, I'm not going to drop it. You know? You didn't evolve. You didn't mature enough to let it go. You know? Because I can honestly say, I've had an issue with that. There's things that I still had carried over from the cycle I had to deal with when I was growing up with my dad. You know? But by the same token, I also learned to evolve out of that mess by getting and giving opportunities to my child that wasn't afforded to me. One of them was to give an opportunity to develop mentally and physically, okay? Where he, was able to achieve success in school and in college, okay? And that was even through some of the stuff that I was dealing with for the chain that I didn't actually break. I broke most of it. I didn't break all of it like I should have. I should have just completely got out of it, but at least for the most part, it didn't affect my child like it affected me. I put it like that because I wanted to make sure that it didn't, But you got to break every chain. That's what old girl was talking about, Tasha Cobbs. I give much props to her for that song, man. That song has so much meaning. Really do. And she said here, chains falling. Done. That's what we got to do, man. As a community, as a family, as an individual. Really, it starts with you as an individual. I know some of y'all, well, what y'all gonna do about it? No. I'm sick of that. People want to latch on to what somebody else needs to do for them instead of some of the things you need to do for your damn self. I'm sick of that. And like I said again, my man Ray was right. He was right. He was right about what he said. I don't give a damn what anybody said. Ray was right. He's 100% right about what he said. He's 100% right. At some point you can't make excuses about this, that, and the other way. When you get to a certain age, man, it's time to change. It's time to change. It's time to stop pointing fingers at everybody else and start pointing fingers at you and say, hey, you know what? I've been pointing fingers at people all my life. But at some point, I got to do something for me so I can evolve and not break that chain. Seriously. I had to do it. Hell. Let me tell you something. My dad was saying all kinds of stuff to me, man, growing up. I'm going to be honest with you guys. All kinds of stuff, man. And it did affect me for a long time because not only was I, how can I put it? I had very low self-esteem. I wasn't sure about myself. I wasn't sure about myself as a man at one point, man. A young man, And even through all the trials and stuff I went through in the military and all that, I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't sure of my own abilities, And one of the things that's very important about being a man, and I told my son that, you have to be assured of yourself. You have to be. And that's the thing that's going to keep strong as a man. You have to be assured of who you are and what you're doing and your abilities. Okay, that's going to get you through. I told my son that, and I think the results have came through as a result of that for him because of what I told him. You know, reinforcement. You know, and I can't say it enough. That's what's going to get our children through. You have to be a strong enough parent and break the chain of the cycle of the bullshit that you dealt with, so that your kids won't have to face that or relive what you did, or you reliving it through them. You know, that's what it is. And I was thinking about something earlier. I said, you know what? I've been there for my family, and sometimes it wasn't enough. Sometimes don't think it was enough. At least that's what that's the feeling I got. But then again, like I said, it's based on the fact that was instilled in me for so long that sometimes like, wow, you know, I feel a little guilty about it. But then again, I don't. Not like I used to, because I know I did all I could. I've done all I could, you know, and with my, you know, on my family side, on my family, I just felt that they felt like I didn't do enough, but I know I did everything I could to be there, and it ain't enough, you know, and I know I did, you know, but you can't please everybody, even when it comes to family. Sometimes you got to make a mark. Sometimes you got to be able to raise your head above water and break the chain. That's all there is to it. And you don't have to wait on nobody to do it for you. You need to do it for yourself. It's the bottom line. This is DJ Wolf, guys. I just wanted to give you something to chew on, man. Something to motivate you to do better. You know, I kind of felt it in my heart to do that today. There is something, okay, for you guys who want to become, you know, tech heads or whatever. Something that I recommend called CBT Nuggets. I just signed up for it about a week and a half ago, and it has an immense number of different programs that you can study, and it even has test prep courses on there as well. And it's called cbtnuggets.com. You know, if you want, I can send you the link. Let me know. Again, like I said, stuff like that. I mean, I'm gonna try to do a little bit more motivation to you, for you, because I kind of feel we need that. You know, I don't want to tear anybody down. I don't want nobody trying to tear me down. You know, we need to uplift and motivate, but there are ways you can do it. But I know some guys are like, well, what you gonna do for the community? No, what you gonna do? You know, like my man Joe Master said on Satellite Radio, what are you gonna do about it? You know, because you can't sit there. This is 2016. There's too many options out here in 2016 for you to be waiting on somebody else. Okay? Especially if you're 18 and over. You're too old for that. You know? In some cases, if you're just under 18. You know, you got to look for those opportunities. That's what I had to do. You know? And like I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. You know? That's all I'm going to say about it. So, questions or comments, agreements, disagreements, it doesn't matter to me. You know, we can just talk it out. All right? This is DJ Wolf. Let me deal with this traffic here. I got more to say on the back burner. Reach out to me. All right? My email addresses are foralltohear@gmail.com. Make sure you put the number 2 on it. That's foralltohear@gmail.com. My Twitter page is @foralltohear. My other email address is foralltohear@outlook.com. And my YouTube channel is For All to Hear TV. All right, guys. We got this crazy traffic here. It's DJ Wolf. Got more to say on the back burner. Talk to you guys later.